most of the beginners in animation industry as an animator makes these mistakes. And if you talk about freshers as well and the people who don't have any idea about animation, both of them will be doing this kind of mistakes what I'm going to share today in the video. So in this video I'm going to share how to animate without any experience. So all those students who are animating by looking at just a small tutorial or just a small video, they will make this mistake and they can relate that how they actually animate. And in the next video, I'm going to share how to actually animate like a movie or a short film animation, which is the proper way of animating. So let's dive deep into this video and understand about the animation so that you can also relate and be aware of the mistakes you are making. Okay, so let's dive deep into the video. So if you see here, you have this Maya software and we have a character imported in this scene, right? This is a character named Ang. And when you open the file, just first thing you have to look out is the FPS. Here you have the 24 FPS, right? You have to make sure you set it as 25 FPS. And then you have to make sure that the time slider starts from 1 and not from 0. Okay, so that's the first important step before animating. And also here at the right corner, you see this red icon, right? This is a square, this is a last second but last icon, which is the auto key button. If you click here, it will get turned off, and if you click here when it turns red, that means it's turned on. And always as an animator, you have to keep this auto key on. And what happens when you don't keep it on, that we will discuss in a small video which I'll do later. So now as a beginner, what everybody makes a mistake. So the one reason for creating this video is to help you understand that where are you getting wrong, because most of the students don't actually understand whether they are wrong or not, and that's how they think that the show reel or whatever work they have done is correct, and that is why they don't get a job at the first place, because they are themselves not aware that this is wrong. And now I'm going to show how they actually animate, like how a person animates without any experience. So this is the first pose we have on the first frame, but we did not register this pose yet, right? There is nothing, there is no key on the time slider. If you see, so now we have the 25 frames. Yeah, I will select all the controls and I'll deselect the global. Now we will hit a key that is S. I'll press S and you will see all these controllers, whatever I've selected, will have a key registered at frame 1. That means whenever I come back to frame 1, I will see this pose, right? The whole point of keying any pose is to register the pose at that particular frame. So on first frame, this pose is registered. Whenever you come to the first frame, this pose you will see. And this is how animation is done by freshers and by beginners. If I go at 8th frame, if I hit a key, now again, I did not change any pose. So it will be same on the 8th frame as well, right? And now I go to 8th frame, I select the pelvis. Now I do some weight shift. Suppose he is shifting the weight from this leg to this leg. And when you shift the weight, your hip turns this way, right? And you have a pressure on the back side, so it moves a little bit back as well. Your bumps come out. And now it's relaxed. Now, if you see this character, now little bit of, I'm just trying to show you how you guys make the mistake. And now this is a little bit of transformation in the poses. We'll not do this max and we'll just understand. Okay. So this is it. I can do some changes on the head part. Okay, and I'll do something related to head. So this is the thing. So now you see this pose is registered at frame 8. Now the slider is on it. That's why whatever I do, the changes on the character, it will register on that particular frame. It will not get registered on the first frame, right? So first frame is different. Eighth frame is different. Now you see, if you move this time slider, you see the animation happening. And most of the beginners think that whatever is moving, that is what they call as animation. But that is not the truth. This is not animation. This is just a movement from one pose to another. Don't give the name of animation for this movement. Animation is something, a movement, which is believable. Like you should believe that a character can do this thing in real. That is what we call as animation. And that is why we have a detailed study. If you only want to animate like normally as without any experience, then this is how you do. You do this, you hit a pose here on 8th frame, and now suppose this character starts to think and he takes his hand on his lips like the way we think, right? So on some 14th frame, maybe I will take his hand here in a thinking mode, the way we pose when we think about something, right? So this way, I will have a pole vector as well. I will turn this on, and normally what I'll do is I will think about this, and now you don't see the message conveyed correctly, right? It seems like he is watching something, but it's not. The way we keep the poses, that is what we call as storytelling. You have to deliver the story through a pose. And now if you see this pose, if I only change the fingers, then the whole point of this thing will change, right? Right? If I only change the finger, you can now relate that he is thinking about something. And if I don't change these pose of fingers, it seems that he is confused looking at something, right? So by just doing these poses of fingers, you can change the whole story of the shot. And that's how it's important to understand at what time, what action to do. And that is what we call as animation. Animation is not about moving things, it's about moving things in a believable way so that the audience can understand what you are truly wanting them to understand, right? So this is it. So now you can see, right, that he is thinking about something, right? We can change some pose as well, might be just to show you, right? So this is the thing. Now I will key all the controls. So if I move and see the animation, you will see something happening like this, right? Suddenly he is going here and suddenly his hands are coming. So you don't have a break. Actually, the audience is not understanding what you are trying to say. These are just the poses. And the beginners don't understand this in between thing, what comes in between these poses, and how to transition from one pose to another so that it gets registered properly. The performance gets registered properly. And this is the mistake every beginner makes. And if you see a lot of content on YouTube, all the content is like this only. People just do these poses and they deliver the story, which is fine, but you're actually looking for creating a movie or short film the way you see in the television and in theaters, then this is not the case. You have to learn it. You have to understand the key points, the principles and everything. Okay. So I hope that you got an insight about what are the mistakes as a beginner you make, right? You think that this is animation, right? You think that this is animating, this is moving, he is thinking, but actually this is not animation. And if you really want to know what animation is, check out my next video, which I'm going to post. Stay tuned, subscribe to my channel so that you can stay tuned for my next video. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to animate like a movie or like a short film in a proper systematic way so that you can compare both of these videos and make out your mistake and see that where you really want to go into the animation industry. So that's all about the video. I hope you like the video and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and God bless.